Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to be talking about specifically Andrew Yang and Tulsi Gabbard and actions that Andrew Yang, it's critical he takes these actions right away in a very time-sensitive manner because there were revelations in the CNN Detroit debates. All right, let's talk about it. So what came out of the CNN Detroit debates, right? Well, I think there were really two huge revelations that came out of the CNN Detroit debates. So one of the biggest ones was, and these just happened last week. One of the biggest ones, of course, the biggest one, in my opinion, was Andrew Yang has staying power. Andrew Yang was able to overcome the debate problems he had in the SMNBC debate, and he's here to stay, and he really can fight toe to toe with Kamala Harris, with Biden, with anybody on that stage, and he belongs there because I've believed in Andrew Yang from the start, and from close to the start, and but it was painful to see what happened in the MSNBC debates, and it was absolutely critical that he delivered in these CNN Detroit debates. It really could have ruined his entire candidacy if he didn't deliver. He did deliver. He 100% delivered. It was almost flawless delivery, right? Absolutely fantastic. But there's a second revelation, super important, absolutely critical revelation, and that is the power of Tulsi Gabbard and what Tulsi Gabbard's actual role has to be, and the importance of Tulsi Gabbard in the 2020 U.S. presidential election. All right, so here it is. I'm just like everybody else. Everybody's seeing Tulsi Gabbard, right? She is just so clearly visible, and there's a reason for it, right? There's a million reasons for it. One, she's an amazing politician, okay, but when I could believe it, when they showed the stage for CNN Detroit debate, I didn't, I was ready to go, oh, there's Yang, everything's cool. But I saw Tulsi Gabbard's pure white suit, and I was like, whoa, what? It was visually stunning, right? The suit was brilliant, both figuratively and literally, right? It was literally brilliant from the perspective of, you could see Tulsi better than any other candidate, right? Because she was in a pure white suit, right? Now, I think it was figuratively brilliant because, one, it matches her own brilliance. She's incredibly intelligent, right? And then, two, I really thought it was really brilliant, too, especially to bring that forward right now when we have a president whose hands are so covered in the muck and the mire of his own decisions, of his own statements, of his own methods, of his own tactics, of his own strategy, right? And you just have this situation where, and Biden's in the same mess. Like, Biden's trying to, he's got a shovel out. He's trying to bury as quickly as he can all these, problems that are coming out from his history, his stance on the Hyde Amendment, op-eds that he wrote that Gillibrand is pulling out. Kamala Harris, right? Kamala Harris is running as a Democrat, and half the Democrats are talking about the problems of private prisons. Kamala Harris spent her career filling private prisons, right? There's everybody's got a lot of dirt on their hands, and they're trying to get it off, right? But Tulsi doesn't, right? She is she was even if she has any, she's pure white suit. This shows my brilliance. This shows that I don't have things to hide. I can stand here, and I'm going to be, a much cleaner, more brilliant president than Donald Trump, right? And frankly, everybody else on the stage, right? And it was incredible. It was and so here's the kicker, right? So it was brilliant, right? And it just matches the brilliance that Tulsi's been showing all along, right? So when we see CNN debate night 2, CNN Detroit debate night 2, we really see Tulsi Gabbard as in my opinion, what her true value is, right? So she is a brilliant, calm, layered communicator. She understands that layered communication. A good politician can speak with their emotions, can speak with their attire, can speak with their words, and can speak with their environment, right? And at minimum, on CNN Detroit Debate Night 2, Tulsi was speaking with her attire, speaking with her words, right? And it was better than any other, on the attire front, better than any other candidate. Like, it was brilliant. It was literally and figuratively brilliant, right? Now, that's not all there is to Tulsi. She's brilliant, she's calm, and she's a layered communicator, right? And frankly, she's better at this than, in my opinion, having seen her in the debate, than any other candidate on the platform, right? So why don't I just take my support and switch it over to Tulsi? Well, there's some good reasons. One, I really believe in Andrew Yang, and I've really come to believe in this UBI platform. I really feel it's a fundamental change. It's good for America. It's good for the world, right? But the biggest reason why I don't is Tulsi is completely unelectable on her policies. She has chosen to be fiercely focused on non-interventionism, ending war, and she has promised to dismantle dismantle or disrupt the military-industrial complex, right? Well, that is the worst possible platform you could have, right? Because you're saying, hey, Americans, not only am I gonna strip millions, low millions, not double-digit millions, not 10 million plus, but 1 to 10 million, 1 to 9 million jobs. I'm gonna throw them in the trash, and they're not gonna be low-level jobs. They're gonna be some of the highest-paying jobs in America, and some like Northrop Grumman, Boeing. Like, these are like major. And then all of the companies that are ancillary or associated with these companies, right? Like, she's saying, hey, I am going to take some of the richest, most innovative, best employing companies in America, and I'm going to gut them like a fish, right? You can't run on that. That is completely unelectable, right? At minimum, on the right, you're going to have, like, people are going to be like, wait, doesn't Uncle Joe work for Northrop Grumman? Doesn't Aunt Sally do data processing? Doesn't Aunt Rachel, like, help build missiles? Basically, you can't do this, right? You cannot say, I'm going to gut America of 1 to 9 million incredibly high-paying jobs. It makes you completely unelectable. Tulsi Gabbard, with non-interventionism, is completely unelectable. This is a pure, hard fact, right? And here's the thing. Even on the left, right, I doubt even 25 to 33% of all Democrats support non-interventionism. So you can't even bring all of the Democrats over with what you're selling, right? It's completely unelectable. All right. So if you have an incredible candidate, right, which Tulsi Gabbard is, if you have a brilliant, calm, right, multi-layered communicator with policies that make her unelectable, well, what do, right? Well, the Democrats have to recognize this. Tulsi Gabbard is a once-in-20 generation politician. I truly believe she has to be used. She is going to be the nitrous. And the thing is, the perfect solution for Tulsi Gabbard, this is clear as day to me now that I've seen her in the CNN Detroit debates, is she cannot be lost. The Democrat Party cannot lose the momentum and the value and the excitement around Tulsi Gabbard. It has to be leveraged, right? How do you leverage it? Well, it's perfectly leveraged through the vice president position, okay? All right. Now, I would like to tell you so I'm gonna lay it out today on how Andrew Yang uses Tulsi Gabbard as the nitrous to propel his campaign forward, okay? But I would love to tell you only Andrew Yang could do this. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Tulsi Gabbard is nitrous for any candidacy, right? She is, like, as a VP, she's peerless, absolutely peerless, all right? So listen to this, right? So Tulsi Gabbard has incredible goodwill, right? Like, she has goodwill on the red and the blue side. She's a veteran, right? And, she comes from Hawaii, this beautiful, brilliant, vibrant, state that everyone loves, right? And in addition to that, no one is contesting that she's brilliant, calm, and a layered communicator. Everybody agrees on this, right? What kills her candidacy is the non-interventionism, right? And it's a game break. It's a game breaker, right? Like it breaks her candidacy, right? However, if you make her a VP, right, you bring her in, you get all the goodwill, you get the power she has to talk clearly to the media, you get all that brilliance, you get all that calmness, you get all that layered communication, and she gets an opportunity to have a reason to box up non-interventionism for 6 to 12 months, right? While we head toward the general election, right, or toward vote day, in November of 2020, right? And that's what needs to happen, right? Tulsi Gabbard is a peerless politician, except for absolutely terrible policy, which she's fiercely focused on, right? Those are CNN's words, fiercely focused. It's a really good way to put it, right? And it's got to get pulled off. Now, the problem is she genuinely believes in them, right? She is super sincere about this, right? You could tell when she talked, right? But the reality is she's got to get managed, right? Like, as far as so a long time ago, when I was early in my career, one of my bosses, actually one of my coworkers, explained to me, you need to learn to manage up. You have to be able to manage your boss, right? The Democrats need to manage Tulsi, right? Because she's too powerful, she's too valuable to allow to get just shuffled off. She's got to remain in the fight. She is the nitrous that's going to send one of these candidates to the presidency, right? I'm convinced Tulsi Gabbard alone is worth 5 to 10 points at minimum in the primary, and quite frankly in the general election as well, right? That's huge. That can win elections, right? And because she works, like, she's incredible. She's really valuable on a ton of different policies. She's a peerless VP, right? So the reality is, so basically she's got to get managed and to the point where we're saying you're a peerless VP, but you're a completely unelectable candidate, right? And somebody's got to get her to understand this. Now, who's that somebody? Yang, right? So how does he do it, right? So why does he do it? One, she's worth 5 to 10 points. I'm convinced of this, right? Which is huge, right? The other thing is, why should Yang go right now, and get Tulsi and sit her down and say, listen, I know you want to be president. I know that, right? But I need you as a VP, right? Well, so one reason why is if Yang convinces Tulsi now, there's distinct benefits that happen right now for Yang, right? Let me lay them out, right? So one, for Yang, I'm convinced Yang is doing a great job. He's doing an incredible good job, right? But he's running for U.S. president, right? And if you are running for U.S. president, right, you are going to need to deliver on. You're going to need specifically to deliver on this very important, critical. In order to get there, you're running for king or queen of the world. That's what the U.S. president is now, right? And so with that understood, you're going to, in order to get there, you're going to have to break some rules. You're going to have to break some tactics or break some strategy. You're going to have to do something that nobody else is doing, right? I don't want him to break any rules, right? I don't want him to take risks that are unwarranted, right? But breaking tactic, nobody has declared a high-profile VP choice, right? So if Yang did this now, he would stand out from the crowd and say, "Here's my high-profile VP choice." It would break tactics. It would be a risk, and he's got to take some risks to get all the way there. It's absolutely critical, right? And no one else has done this, so there's opportunity right now. All right. Now, how does Yang get Tulsi to do this? What is in it for her? It's got to be a lot in it for her. Well, I think he sits her down, and this conversation happens between him and her and no one else, right? And he says, listen, I need you to be the nitrous for my campaign. I need you to push me through the primaries, and I need you to push me through the general. And I recognize the power of you, right? And the reality is, I need your help, right? And if you do this, I become president, but like a major plank, an unstated plank in my platform is that from day one of my presidency, we begin to set you up for your presidency. So I will help from day one and continue to help all the way through, right? And we will meet once a month for 2 hours, and nothing will be discussed in that meeting except how we make you president in, here's the kicker, 4 to 8 years. So basically, and then in addition to that promise, I think Yang should say, if you get me elected, you will be able to opt me out after 4 years. If you think that you are ready to run in 4 years, I will take my 4 years as president and walk away after 4, allowing you to run against AOC or whoever's running, right? Now, why would Yang do this, right? It seems crazy, right? Well, the reality is, in some ways, it is crazy. It's a major roll of the dice, right? And the reality is, 4 years is all he's going to need to get UBI in place, in my opinion, right? Once that thing is up, I think it'll take a year to get it up and running. And with 2 years on the ground, it's going to show its value. I'm convinced of this, right? And it is my strong opinion that every president should run for 4 solid years and make their 4 years good, rather than one cheeking their 4 years and trying to get 4 more. It's one of the biggest problems in the presidency. And the other issue is Tulsi's worth it. I think she truly is the nitrous. I'm a big Fast and Furious fan. You get your 10-second car, you put a good engine in it, but you got to have that nitrous button. And right now, Tulsi is nitrous available now, right? And I really think she is peerless as a VP, and she can add 5 to 10 points in the primary and in the general minimum. I see what people see in Tulsi, right? But I also know for a fact she is thoroughly unelectable, right? You cannot run on, I'm going to dismantle the richest, most innovative, best paying companies in America. That is not a platform that wins anything. But Tulsi is a brilliant, calm, layered communicator, the likes of which really haven't been seen in generations, right? She is one of the best politicians I've ever seen in my life, with the absolute worst policy. But she is peerless as a VP. And so I think Yang needs to move very, very quickly, right? And then the Dems have 4 years. They're on a 4-year clock to say, okay, we're cool with having Tulsi as a president, but we all need to manage her and get this non-interventionist nonsense out of her head, right? Because it is, we understand she's passionate about it. We understand she's sincere about it, but it makes her unelectable, right? And then make her the next president, saying, listen, you can rule the world, but you gotta jettison this non-interventionist stuff. Tulsi is a peerless VP. Yang can make a huge move right now, and he should be willing to make these huge promises to get the huge value of Tulsi as a VP. Whatever candidate figures this out first, it's going to give them, it's 5 to 10 points on a plate. And I absolutely think Andrew Yang should get that 5 to 10 points. He needs it, right? That's my take. I'd love to hear what you think. Am I right or wrong? Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.